UvaldeRadio.net. Hey, that's Chad Prather there. And man, it's going to be a big show tonight. House Pasture Cattle Company, Concan, Texas, Uvalde County. Just been a fantastic 2022 summer concert series. It's almost coming to an end. And this is going to be a really interesting way to close it out with Republican gubernatorial candidate, also conservative political commentator, comedian, and internet personality. He's pretty much a big deal. Welcome on the phone, Mr. Chad Prather.
It's good to be with you, man. I tell you what, you've had all these incredible people in there, you know, from Pat Green, Roger Craig, Wade Bowen, all these guys. And then you say gubernatorial candidate. You go, oh, wow, that's horrible. That's terrible. No, man, everywhere we go, I can't wait to be at House Pasture. It's just going to be a lot of fun. You know, music, fun, funny, comedy, lots of stories. It's going to be a great time.
Now, have you ever been out to a House Pasture before or in Concan at all?
Never have. Oh. And of course, Steve Helms that travels with me from Steve Helms Band, you know, he's been doing music, I think, since the Lord walked the earth. And he goes... He said he'd never been there either, so it's going to be a historic event for both of us. Our guy plays fiddle for us, Ben McPherson. He's been there numerous times with various artists, so it'll be a homecoming for him. But we're looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got Steve Helms there with you, so you've got a good band, obviously. But like you mentioned, man, we've had, you know, on this stage Randy Rogers, Pat Green, you know, Wade Bowen, a lot of the big timers. So how you feeling? I know you guys are going to do some music for us. Any pressure there?
No, you know, look, we have a good time. You know, back during COVID, when everything was shut down, a lot of musicians weren't traveling. I told the guys, I said, come to my house. And I said, sit on the sofa. And they said, what do you want to do? I said, I'm going to record this. We're going to start putting it on social media, call it Songs from the Sofa. We're going to entertain people right here from my living room. And it turns out we've got really great three-piece harmony. The music is tight. It's a lot of fun. And what we do is we mix a lot of humor in with the music. We sing some classic country music that people know. We parody some songs. And then we've got a lot of our own originals that are out there. Man, we just have a blast out there. And, of course, it's always fun because those guys that you listed, I mean, they're friends and have been for years.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm not only a friend, but I'm a fan of each one of those guys. So I've learned from them, and it's just fantastic to be out there doing what we're doing. And most importantly, just being with the people that come out to the shows.
Well, now your project is called Chad Prather and the Ragamuffins. So give us a little bit more information on the other guys in the band, just a little background.
You know, as I said, we've got Steve Helms. He's had the Steve Helms Band, 6 studio albums out there over the years, and has his, you know, success in his own right. Ben McPherson, most recently, has been playing fiddle for the likes of Kyle Park, and still does from time to time. But we've been... we've been traveling around. We've been all over the country, and folks come out there and they don't know what to expect, and it's a lot of fun because they think they're used to the comedy and the stand-up from me, but they don't expect really good music. And then they're surprised. It's always fun when we go to a new place and we kick it off and people's jaw kind of drops and they go, wow, this is really good. Next thing you know, the dance floor is full and people are having a good time. So it's going to be a fun Friday night in Concan, Texas.
You know, that's a good segue into what was going to be one of my questions. But, Chad, you've got a remarkable voice. You've got a great voice. You can play guitar. I mean, I know you're kind of doing, you know, more like a political commentary, even kind of a novelty thing, to be honest. But have you ever considered maybe just kind of, you know, putting on a serious face and just doing a real, honest-to-God country album?
You know, we think about that all the time. In 2020, I was able to put out a comedy album that had 8 original songs on it. We went to Nashville and recorded the music tracks for that, and then came back to Texas and recorded the audio, and it turned out being really good. It was number 1 for a number of months in the comedy category, but it was serious music, even though it was funny,
right.
If that makes sense. But there's oftentimes I think about going out, because I've written a lot of songs as well, and I'm kind of a wordsmith in that regard. But think about it all the time, and I think it's long overdue that we do that. I always tell people I'm an entertainer that's mediocre, you know, in enough things that if I put them all together, it's pretty good, you know. So I know how to entertain when I'm basically a showman and a salesman at the end of the day, and I know how to get on stage and sell a show. So we have I've also just learned to build good talent around me. And go out there and make it sound good, and I always love to surprise people, and so we're looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a blast. Listen, everywhere we go is a party, and tonight won't be any different.
Well, again, we're talking to Chad Prather here. He's performing tonight, House Pasture Cattle Company in Concan. Now, Chad, you mentioned you kind of dabble in a lot of things. I mean, you kind of started off with just talking to the camera in your car, as I recall, and just blew up huge, went viral. And let's go and talk about, those humble beginnings. I think it's safe to say that most people, I'm a conservative as well, too, so I really appreciate what you do. But I think it's safe to say that most of us with a conservative mindset or worldview tend to look at influencers on Instagram and YouTube. It's kind of like people that don't really work, if that makes any sense, like like that money for nothing, by Dire Straits kind of attitude. Now, I know because I'm in media, I know there's a lot of work behind the scenes. Tell me, what are your thoughts on that impression that people might have versus the hard work that you obviously put into this?
Well, a lot of folks say that, I always joke about it. I say I had no idea when I put my camera phone on the dashboard of my truck back in 2015 that millions of people would start watching my good time-wasting sessions. But, I never made a penny from that. I always said I had lightning in a bottle, but what do you do with that? And I took it out on the road, started doing stand-up comedy, which was very successful nationwide, actually internationally, because we were doing Europe as well as Canada. And I've just always loved music. And Texas music particularly has been a huge influence on my life. It's kind of shaped a lot of what I do. And so I just said, I want to do it all. People kept likening me to a modern-day Will Rogers, which was a humbling compliment. But even Will Rogers' family, his grandson and his granddaughter, they all reached out to me years ago, and they said, we agree with that. We think that you honor his legacy. And I said, well, I want to do like variety shows. I want to have comedy. I want to have storytelling. I want to have music. And so, it is a hard road to try to juggle all of those different things. And we've been able to go out there and really just crisscross the nation with what I consider true values. I am a conservative guy. I'm unapologetic about that. It's hard in the entertainment business to lean right of center these days. But this is American. We've got enough room for differing, values and opinions on things. Our country was built on debate and dialogue and discussion, even disagreement, and yet people were able to come together. And I think humor and music are the two greatest ways to do that. So, it's been hard. I got the show on Blaze TV. It's a nightly talk show that we do, and then we've got started as a podcast. Now it's a television show. Of course, try to keep up with the stuff in the truck and social media as well as the live events. And for me, the live events are where it's at because that's when you get the instant feedback from people, and they let you know if you're doing good or not, and that to me is something you thrive on.
Wow, fantastic. I mean, man, you are absolutely an impressive man. When I look at what you do and I see how much media you're involved in, my head spins. It's just super crazy. And on top of that, running for governor, we got to tap into that, man. So what was that like? I know that you lost out in the primary, but first of all, I always... When a celebrity, or in the current day, influencers like yourselves decide, hey, and it's been going back to Howard Stern, when a personality gets on and goes, hey, I'm going to run for governor or any office, I always kind of immediately think it's kind of more of a gimmick. But then again, I know that you have a true passion and you really are politically, you really do have a good platform. So what was the inspiration and what was that experience like?
Well, I got tired of things being shut down, and people being locked out of their work and unable to go and provide for themselves and their family, and not the least of which was people who were in the entertainment business in these live venues, live music and comedy venues. And so a lot of these, entertainers out there that do lean left of center, they like to criticize me, but I say, you need to understand that what I did for you. It was a direct protest against these, what I believe were unconstitutional lockdowns and taking away people's ability to go to work. And so, I always said I would never run for office, and I had no political aspirations. And so when I announced in July of 2020, I knew that I didn't have any big donors. I didn't have any political backing. I came with no political clout. A lot of people thought it was a joke. And, for a day or two, I thought maybe it was a joke. I thought, what in the world have I gotten myself into? 20 months later, at March 1st was the primary date in Texas, people had begun to realize we ran a serious campaign. We had no money. We still had no backing or any clout. But I showed up, and the places I went to speak, people heard the message, and I kind of had two priorities and goals. One, I wanted to get people involved in the political process in Texas that have never been involved, and so we had tens of thousands of people that showed up to vote in a primary that never had before.
Nice.
And I wanted to shed light on a message that anybody out there can make a difference. And I think, even though we lost in the primary, we won overall because we got that message out there, and it was successful in a big way. And a lot of people ask me if I'll run again. I don't know. That to me, that was the best experience of my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but it's physically exhausting. It's emotionally, mentally, even spiritually exhausting. So I don't know. I had a message to send in for this election in 2022. I had a message to send. I think I sent it. So we'll see what happens when that time comes around again. I love the state of Texas. I can tell you that. Texas has been good to me, man. And I think it's the center of the universe. So, if I could give my life to make Texas great, that's what I'm all about.
Well, we are excited to see you down here in Southwest Texas. Again, the show is tonight. House Pasture, Concan, Chad Prather on the phone. Going to be a big show with Chad and the Ragamuffins tonight. And, you mentioned kind of the stress and the pressure of the gubernatorial run. I'm sure the whole kit and caboodle is tough on you. What is your support system? You got wife, kids? How does that all look?
It's me. I have, I'm a divorced dad. I've got four beautiful kids and one stepson, and they're all older now, and they're great. They sometimes speak common sense into me, and that's fun. And I love to see them succeed as the next generation. But I've got a great support system of friends. Not the least of which are the guys that I travel with. I can say that it's not just a job for us. We do it because we love each other, and we really do enjoy being together and making music and comedy. And, it really is good to have that support system of folks, whether it's, the family over at Blaze TV and folks that just can give you a little kick in the pants and then pick you up and encourage you as well. So you got to have that. These days with social media, it's getting harder and harder because people don't have real relationships. And wherever we go, I keep encouraging people to have those dialogues and those conversations and have those people in your life. Because I tell you, it is a rough road out there, folks, whether we choose to admit it or not. It really is.
Okay, so Chad, I'm reading between the lines, and you just, on behalf of the ladies, you're a good-looking man, you got a great voice, you got a great brain. I'm reading between the lines, tells me you're single. So what's dating life like if that's happening?
I've got a whole bit about that I do in my stand-up. I talk about everybody wants to introduce you to somebody. Now, she might not be getting out of Huntsville prison for another 6 months. But my God, she's going to be a catch when she shows up. It's a minefield out there. It really is. I don't really date. It's one of those things that kind of scares me. I'm 49. I'm half 100 at this point. And so I just say, life is fun. I try to go with it as easy as I can and flow with it, find the rhythm of it. And I'll tell you, man, I just love people. I love everybody. A lot of people think I don't. They think I'm too controversial to love anybody, but that's not true. I'm controversial because I love them. And we're just having fun, man, across the board.
Now, at the live shows, obviously, it's a lot of fun. You have a certain audience that you appeal to that comes out. You ever get any of those haters, hecklers, the ones that come there specifically just to ruffle your feathers?
It's not bad. Occasionally when we travel across the country, we might, we've done shows everywhere from Seattle to Portland, Oregon, and you'll get a little bit of that as you expect in places like that. But by and large, you find that most of those keyboard warriors are just tough online. And the folks that come out, man, it's good. I've had people say, well, what's the atmosphere like? It's fun. People, they're there to have a good time. They're there to enjoy it. I mean, you're in a historic Texas dance hall. What's not fun about that?
Right.
And the folks that have been to House Pasture, certainly they know it. So, and it's true wherever we go. People are there they're having a good time. They want to laugh. They want to sing. They want to dance. They want to have a couple of drinks. And at the end of the night, walk away with their head shaking in a positive way, saying, that was great. We want to come back again.
Well, we are excited to have you down here in Uvalde County. It's going to be a great show tonight at House Pasture in Concan. Tickets on sale online at housepasture.com. You probably want to just get them at the door. If you get them online, you save a little bit of money. Just a little FYI for people out there. Now, Chad, my parting question, man, because I know you spend some good time with us here. I appreciate that. What's in the future? I know you got books and shows and, all kinds of stuff. Anything else you want to break into? Film, TV, acting, sitcom, anything else in the works?
We've all of the above. always looking at opportunities that are out there. I was in back in 2019 before the world shut down. We did film a movie that is still looking for distribution, which is an awesome film that's out there. And we've got a number of things that are out there that, probably I'm working on another book. And as you mentioned earlier, I really want to do a country album that puts out some great stuff. And, we're just going to stay on the road and just keep loving on people and watching them and enjoying them loving on us. And for me, I'm like a goose. I wake up in a new world every day and just see what it's got. If I could clone myself, I don't know if the world's ready for it, but it would be helpful for me. And we're just having fun. And listen, man, if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a fun time tonight. House Pasture in Concan, Chad Prather, and the Ragamuffins. And I believe your website is watchchad.com. Am I right there?
That is the most vain web address on the planet. Watchchad.com. You nailed it.
All right, so go find all his stuff. Buy a DVD or a T-shirt or whatever else.
Yeah, man, we're rocking and rolling. We're headed. We're on the road now, and we are headed your way. And man, we're going to come in there fired up. It's going to be awesome.
Well, we're looking forward to the show. Thank you, Chad, for taking some time with us. Everybody, go to watchchad.com and see him tonight at House Pasture in Concan. It's going to wrap it up here with Chad Prather, and we are UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you, sir. God bless.
Thank you, brother.